What if I told you that behind the screaming guitars, thundering drums, and wild stage dives, some of heavy metal's biggest legends were hiding scandalous secrets that fans were never supposed to know? From backstage romances that spiraled out of control to shocking affairs that nearly tore bands apart, these aren't just tabloid tales, they're the jaw-dropping chapters of rock history that no one saw coming. Brace yourself. Here are 10 of the craziest and most controversial sex scandals in heavy metal history. Vince Neil. Vince Neil, the iconic frontman of Motley Crue, was as famous for his wild rock star lifestyle as for his music. Throughout the 1980s and 1990s, Vince's personal life was a whirlwind of affairs, scandals, and headline-grabbing incidents that kept tabloids busy. Married to Charisse Rudell in the late 80s, Vince's infidelities became public knowledge, fueling rumors of multiple extramarital relationships. His reputation as a notorious womanizer was cemented by stories of late-night escapades and backstage romances during the band's peak touring years. One particularly explosive scandal involved a high-profile affair that nearly ended his marriage and caused a media frenzy. Vince's reckless behavior extended beyond affairs. His partying lifestyle led to tragic consequences, including a fatal car accident in 1984 that deeply affected his career and personal life. Despite the chaos, Vince remained a beloved figure in rock, though his romantic scandals painted a portrait of a man who lived fast and loved recklessly, often at great personal cost. Gene Simmons. Gene Simmons, the larger-than-life bassist and co-lead singer of Kiss, built a rock star persona that included being a legendary womanizer. Simmons openly boasted in interviews and his 2001 tell-all book about having slept with thousands of women, a claim that became central to his public image. His escapades were so notorious that they caused serious tension in his long-term relationship with Shannon Tweed, whom he eventually married. Despite their decades-long partnership, Simmons's past affairs and candid admissions about his sexual exploits sparked controversy and fueled tabloid speculation. His unapologetic attitude toward his romantic life made him both admired and criticized. Simmons's ability to balance his wild past with a stable family life was often questioned, but he maintained that his lifestyle was part of the rock star mythos. His sex scandals were less about secret affairs and more about a brazen celebration of excess, making him one of heavy metal's most infamous figures in this arena. Axl Rose. Axl Rose, the volatile and enigmatic frontman of Guns N' Roses, has long been as famous for his unpredictable temper and powerful voice as for his tumultuous romantic life. Throughout the band's late 80s and early 90s heyday, Axl's backstage romances and flings became fodder for gossip columns and public scrutiny. He was linked to several high-profile women, including supermodel Stephanie Seymour and actress Erin Everly, with relationships often marked by intense passion, jealousy, and explosive breakups. Legal battles followed, including lawsuits filed by Seymour and Everly alleging assault and battery, both of which were settled out of court. More recently, in 2023, Axl faced a lawsuit from former Penthouse model Sheila Kennedy, accusing him of sexual assault during a 1989 hotel encounter. Kennedy alleged a violent and non-consensual attack that caused her lifelong trauma. Rose denied the allegations, stating he had no recollection of meeting her. The lawsuit was settled privately in late 2024, with Rose maintaining his innocence. Axl's personal life has also been shaped by his troubled childhood, including abuse, that he has spoken about publicly. His relationships have been a mix of wild rock star indulgence and dark personal struggles, reflecting the intense pressures of fame and the fallout that often accompanies it. Despite the chaos, Axl's charisma and talent have kept fans captivated, even as his private life remains a subject of controversy and speculation. Tommy Lee. Tommy Lee, the legendary drummer of Mötley Crüe, became one of rock's most notorious figures thanks to his high-profile relationships and infamous private tapes. His marriage to Pamela Anderson in the mid-1990s was a media spectacle, with their passionate and often turbulent relationship playing out in the public eye. The release of their private sex tape in 1995 was groundbreaking. It became one of the first celebrity sex tapes to go viral, shocking fans and making headlines worldwide. This scandal not only exposed their intimate moments, but also ignited debates about privacy, consent, and celebrity culture in the digital age. Beyond his marriage, Tommy's reputation for wild affairs and reckless behavior fueled his bad boy image. His relationships often overlapped with his partying lifestyle, leading to multiple breakups and reconciliations. The tabloid frenzy surrounding Tommy Lee's personal life became inseparable from his public persona, marking him as one of heavy metal's most infamous lovers. Despite the controversies, Lee continued to thrive musically and remains a symbol of rock and roll excess, where sex, scandal, and music collide in unforgettable ways. Marilyn Manson. Marilyn Manson, known for his dark, theatrical stage presence, has faced multiple allegations from former partners in recent years that have rocked his career and led to serious legal battles. Accusations of emotional and physical abuse surfaced publicly in 2021, with several women coming forward to detail disturbing experiences. These allegations sparked a massive public fallout, with record labels and collaborators distancing themselves from Manson. The controversy also led to investigations and lawsuits that challenged his carefully crafted image. While Manson denied the allegations, the scandal brought intense media scrutiny and divided fans. His provocative persona, once celebrated for pushing boundaries, became overshadowed by these serious claims. The scandal marked a significant turning point, showing how personal behavior can dramatically impact a public figure's legacy, especially in an era demanding accountability. David Ellefson. David Ellefson, founding bassist of thrash metal giants Megadeth, faced a major scandal in 2021 when explicit videos of him surfaced online. The footage showed Ellefson in sexually explicit video calls with a fan, igniting controversy and leading to his removal from the band. The woman involved was identified as a 19-year-old consenting adult, but initial rumors falsely claimed underage involvement, which Ellefson and the woman both denied. Despite the private nature of the videos, their leak caused irreparable damage to Ellefson's reputation and strained his relationship with bandmate Dave Mustaine. Mustaine announced the band was officially parting ways with Ellefson, citing an already strained relationship worsened by the scandal. Ellefson publicly stated he was cooperating with authorities, filing revenge porn charges against the video's leaker, emphasizing the consensual nature of the interactions. The fallout was swift and severe, with Megadeth removing Ellefson's bass tracks from their upcoming album. This scandal exposed how private actions, once exposed, can dramatically alter a musician's career and legacy. Sebastian Bach. Sebastian Bach, the electrifying frontman of Skid Row, became synonymous with the wild excesses of late 80s and early 90s heavy metal. His powerful voice and angelic looks helped propel the band to massive success, with hits like Youth Gone Wild and 18 and Life defining an era. But behind the music was a chaotic lifestyle fueled by non-stop partying, drug use, and a revolving door of groupies. Bach's memoir reveals lurid tales of backstage debauchery, wild hotel room parties, and blurred lines between fans and band members. His relationships were often reckless, with numerous affairs and betrayals that fed the tabloid frenzy surrounding the band. Bach's volatile behavior wasn't limited to romantic escapades. It extended to public disputes, confrontations, and clashes with bandmates and other rock stars. His drug and alcohol abuse intensified tensions, contributing to Skid Row's eventual breakup in the mid-1990s. Despite the chaos, Bach's raw energy and rebellious spirit earned him a loyal fan base that embraced his bad boy image. Even after leaving Skid Row, Bach continued to live on the edge, balancing a solo career, Broadway roles, and reality TV appearances. Rob Halford, the iconic frontman of Judas Priest, made headlines not for scandalous behavior, but for his courageous decision to come out as gay in 1998, a revelation that sent shockwaves through the heavy metal community. For years, Halford kept his sexuality a secret, fearing the backlash that could come from revealing such a truth in a genre known for its hyper-masculine image and often conservative fan base. The metal world was built on a foundation of toughness, rebellion, and machismo, making Halford's announcement all the more groundbreaking. His coming out challenged deeply ingrained stereotypes and opened important conversations about diversity, acceptance, and authenticity within the metal scene. Halford later spoke openly about the emotional toll of hiding his true self while maintaining the fierce, leather-clad stage persona that fans adored. His honesty inspired countless fans and fellow musicians, showing that strength comes from embracing one's identity rather than hiding it. Though not a scandal in the traditional sense, Halford's revelation was a seismic moment that reshaped perceptions in a community often resistant to change. Scott Weiland, the charismatic frontman of Stone Temple Pilots and Velvet Revolver, was known as much for his haunting voice as for his turbulent personal life. His memoir and interviews revealed a cycle of passionate yet volatile romantic relationships deeply intertwined with his struggles with addiction. Weiland's marriages and partnerships were marked by breakups, reconciliations, and public drama, often fueled by his battles with substance abuse. The pressures of fame and his personal demons created a destructive pattern that affected both his career and love life. His time with Velvet Revolver ended amid tensions and rehab stints, and though he reunited with Stone Temple Pilots, his instability persisted. Friends and bandmates noted his immense talent shadowed by self-sabotage. Weiland's addictions led to multiple arrests and ultimately contributed to his tragic death in 2015 from an accidental overdose. His story is a raw portrait of a rock star whose love and pain were inseparable, reflecting the dark side of fame and the human cost behind the music. Nikki Sixx, the legendary bassist and primary songwriter of Motley Crue, is infamous not only for his musical talent, but also for his wild, chaotic lifestyle that epitomized the excesses of the 1980s rock scene. In his brutally honest autobiography, Sixx detailed a life consumed by reckless partying, countless groupie encounters, and a severe drug addiction that nearly ended his life. His relationships during the band's relentless touring schedule were often turbulent and fueled by the non-stop chaos of the road. The constant cycle of sex, drugs, and rock and roll blurred boundaries and led to destructive behavior that threatened both his health and career. The turning point came in 1987 when Sixx suffered a near-fatal heroin overdose. Left for dead, he was revived by paramedics in a moment that forced him to confront the dangerous spiral he had been caught in. Despite this close call, Sixx's battle with addiction continued for years, but he gradually found a path toward recovery. Throughout it all, he managed to channel his personal struggles into his songwriting, creating some of Motley Crue's most iconic and raw material. So, which one of these wild stories shocked you the most? Were there any names you never expected to see on this lister? Did we miss someone even crazier? Go ahead and sound off in the comments. We're reading every single one. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the untamed, behind-the-scenes chaos of heavy metal history, make sure to hit that like button, drop your thoughts below, subscribe to the channel for more jaw-dropping reveals, And don't forget to ring the bell icon so you're first to know when a new story breaks. Thanks for watching.